You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Welcome to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast on BQN. We're here to showcase the films you probably missed but should definitely check out. From independent and obscure to art house and absurd, each episode will gather, perhaps cocktail in hand, to discuss it all. I'm your host, Mark White, and with me today are Matt and Shalimar. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey. So happy to have you guys back. This is awesome. Our listeners are like, where's Laz Marquez? What happened? We sent him on an away mission this week, so he is checking out a special new film that's coming out, The Marvels?
Yes.
So hopefully, Shal, you're going to see that too, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Okay, so fingers crossed, listeners. If they want to, the next episode, hopefully we can get them to tease a little bit about their thoughts on the Marvels film.
And I'm also seeing it tomorrow.
Oh, so I'll be the only one not seeing it. I'm okay with that. But I still, I think our listeners will deserve to hear y'all's thoughts. So I think we owe it to them. All right. Well, what's everybody drinking tonight?
I'm having a Red Zinger tea. As some listeners might notice, my voice is a little extra deep today. So I'm having a little tea, a little water, staying hydrated. I originally wanted to have a ginger beer spice drink in honor of our film, but apparently alcohol is not good for sinuses. So that's where I'm at.
You are the best. No, because, okay, so I'm not going to say my drink yet, but I was going to make a ginger beer drink also, but I ran out of ginger beer.
No.
Anyway, Matt, what are you drinking?
I do not have a beverage with me today. I know, scoff, gasp.
No. Not even water?
Not even water.
Your throat is going to be dry as Arrakis.
Dry as Arrakis.
Well, he's on theme.
He is on theme.
That's also my grinder profile.
Oh my, dry as Arrakis?
Dry as Arrakis.
Oh my Lord. All right. All right, moving forward. So my drink of choice today, again, emergency last minute, did not have the ginger beer I was expecting to have in my cupboard. So I had to come up with something else. And this is similar to a cocktail I just did. So please forgive me. This is the first almost duplicate. But I have in my mug, drinking a mug again, it's, what is it? Cinnamon whiskey. So spice whiskey with, just to use it up, because I didn't have much cinnamon whiskey, I threw peanut butter whiskey in there too. So it's like peanut butter and cinnamon.
Oh my God.
But then to top it off, it's in apple cider. So apple spice. So spice on spice on spice. Okay.
Yes, the spice is life. Quick little side note, peanut butter whiskey is amazing.
I never even heard of such a thing.
It's weird, but trust me, I really like it. It just depends on what you mix it with. Trust me. Just mix it with the right thing. It's really good.
With we did get like a raspberry whiskey one time to mix it with it and make it like a PB&J.
Exactly. That's what I did at a friend's party recently.
All right. Feedback. We actually have a bunch of feedback this week, and I'm so excited to dive in. So, Shal, would you?
Sure. So Lori Mantenga in the Film Buffs Facebook group, Birth. Very confusing film. I had to watch it twice.
Awesome, Lori. Well, she must have liked it enough to do the rewatch. So I'm going to pat myself on the back that there is another human in the universe that liked the film. And Jason Anderson in the BQN Collective Facebook group, which all of our listeners should be on if they're not already, says, this movie lives rent-free in my mind, especially the scene where the camera just focuses on her face for many minutes, more than I have seen in any movie. Very memorable movie. And he's talking also about Birth. So, yeah. So Jason found something also that he liked about the film. I get a second pat on the back there. Thank you. I was surrounded by haters when we recorded. So this is so refreshing that we've got such positive feedback.
I do wonder if I would feel differently about it if I saw it again, because sometimes that happens.
It's true.
Maybe that could be way down the road. We could have a revisit.
A live watch.
Ooh. Well, we also have another comment from someone who was just so full of bubbles and joy. And this is in regards to Nope. Joseph in Confessions of a Cinephile writes, I'm not sure what's more painful, this pathetic identity politics infested description or the film itself. Joseph, all of the love to you. I just want to walk up to you and give you a big giant hug.
Big ol' hug. That was the first post we got on the Nope when we published it. We had put the link in the Cinephiles group, and oh my lord,
it was spicy. But you know what? I think Joseph probably just needs a big hug. He just needs a big hug.
He didn't like Nope, but you know what? We all did.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's seen it.
Probably.
I don't think he even listened to the episode, so it's not a fair criticism.
Yeah, he didn't see the movie or listen to the episode.
Yeah. And also, anytime I hear the term identity politics, I just cringe at just the poorly coded sort of situation happening there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So today, listeners, we are going to be talking about Dune. Now, if you remember me talking about it last week, I had mentioned it was going to be the Dueling Dunes episode where we'll be going head to head with two of the Dune movies. Well, that discussion kind of evolved because Dune is bigger than two films or three films in two miniseries or video games. Dune is Dune. It is epic. It's everywhere. And so today, I think we should call it something else. Dune into the Duniverse.
Da, 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 da.
Oh my God. Matt, thank you so much for coming up with a title. You are so witty. So, what was your knowledge of Dune before this episode?
Oh, girl. So Dune growing up was always in the house in some way or another. My mom and my stepdad were always watching the 84 version of the movie in some way, whether it was on TV or it was like on VHS or DVD. Dune was always on. And so I would always catch glimpses of it and think it was really interesting. And my dad watched the movie, but my dad had the books. I never read the books. I think I was only aware of the books after the movie. And then on my dad's shelf, was that it was at Barnes and Noble. But my dad's definitely got the first Dune. But Barnes and Noble, I noticed when I was a kid, I would see Dune, Children of Dune, and then something else with Dune. But there was a lot of Dune going on. Yeah. But that's my knowledge.
Yeah, my knowledge came more recently. There is this content creator my friends and I follow. She used to go by CB Girl 19, and now she just goes by her name Donica. And she did this whole like Dune book club with live Twitch streams and all kinds of stuff. I didn't participate in that, but I downloaded the audiobook and I listened to the first two books. And I found it pretty interesting. And then I think I saw the 1984 version before the new one came out, and then saw the new one. So that's kind of my sort of Dune knowledge.
Dude, I gotta ask, did Kyle MacLachlan, did he narrate the audiobook? Because I mean, I would pay so much money for that.
I think I would have preferred that to what the audiobook was. It was kind of like a weird abridged version, but also a bit of a play. So parts of the book were narrated by a narrator, and then there'd be certain areas of the book where there'd be actors playing all the roles and doing like a little radio play. And I swear it took me, I had to listen to the first book, the first 5 hours of the first book, about 5 or 6 times before I realized what the fuck was going on, because the voice of the narrator was different than the voice of Paul and the voice of Lita, and there was all these different voices, and I just didn't connect it. Not to mention that it's incredibly dense reading with all the world building, with all the new language, new words that they're introducing and new religions and all this kinds of stuff. It's very dense, especially at the beginning, to sort of digest all of that and understand where you are in the setting before you could really get into the story. So yeah, that was my experience listening to those audiobooks. You get used to the teleplay thing or the radio play thing, but it was a little off-putting at first, a little confusing.
From what I know of the books, it's very Tolkien-ish in terms of like how much world building is done. Like there's a lot going on.
Well, for me, I had seen the 80s version a while back. I was on a David Lynch kick, so I was watching all the David Lynch movies. And so I watched that one. I had heard the mythos surrounding the attempts to get the book made to a film a long time ago. And also heard about the book being a masterpiece and like one of the greatest sci-fi books ever written. So I knew a little bit about it secondhand, kind of. And then, like I said, I had seen the 80s version. I was very excited to see the version that came out in 2021 because of the director, Denis Villeneuve, because he was attached. And I love Blade Runner 2049 so much. You have no idea. I was like, he's going to kill Dune. He's going to just murder it. It's going to be great. And he did. So, in my opinion, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but it was awesome.
I feel like he's sort of the Ridley Scott of our time in a way.
Oh, yeah.
And not just because of Blade Runner, but just the ambition and scale of even Dune, for instance, in terms of visuals and the grandeur of telling such an ambitious story. I definitely get that vibe from him.
Well, one of the things I love about this podcast is diving into details that I wouldn't otherwise know about some of these films. And the more I learned about Frank Herbert as a person, the more I learned about his influences when creating this great book, the cooler he got. The dude famously based melange or spice on popular psychedelic drugs of the late 60s and early 1970s, in particular LSD and psilocybin mushrooms that have been known to be mind-expanding and hallucinogenic. Now, something that came up as a question for me is I'm wondering, do you guys think that the book and subsequent movies are commentary on governments controlling society's access to such substances as the emperor tried to control all of the spice and keep it out of the hands of like the general public?
Well, because Laz isn't here today, I'm going to read for him his response so we could kick off with him and piggyback off that. So Laz says, I have read the books, so I find Frank Herbert's vision was really cemented in a couple of things. In regards to how the spice melange comes into play, I think it's less about advocating for drug use and a lot more about how a sci-fi version of drugs can deteriorate a society or galaxy in this context. Once you're hooked on spice melange, you're addicted for life and can potentially turn into a crazy space monster. Referencing the 1984 version.
Thank you, Laz.
Very true.
Thank you, Shal.
You're welcome. I'm going to piggyback off what Laz says. I definitely think there's something to be said about the notion of becoming so dependent on a substance. But I also think, I guess maybe this is looser from Frank Herbert's vision, and my interpretation, especially in modern day, is just around the notion of power. The spice doesn't just make people high, it gives people the power to fold space and time and travel and be psychic and all kinds of crazy stuff. And the notion of colonialism around the fact that there's one planet in the galaxy that produces this stuff and they are not the owners of their own asset. They're being controlled by the Harkonnen, by the Atreides, by the Empire. So that's kind of how I interpreted the notion of spice and what it means.
I didn't think of drugs so much as I thought of oil and just that whole, I guess, ever continuing issue that we have on our planet. I think about it even more so when I was a kid and I was thinking about the Iraq War and how I would just hear, I mean, I wasn't old enough to really understand what was going on, but I would constantly hear adults talk about, well, this is all about oil and this is blah, blah, blah. This is what it's about. And everyone's trying to control this and everyone's trying to get a hold of this. And this is what we're going to be fighting over. And I mean, whether or not any of that is true or has, lived up to what the adults were talking about at that time, that's definitely what was going through my mind as I watched this movie and as I thought about the spice.
Hey, you both make very good points. For me, I was looking at it sort of as colonialism and like Shal, like you were saying, like the people that live there on Arrakis don't even have control of their own.
exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their own land, and they're sort of fighting back whatever occupying forces are there. But I also think some of it has to do with drugs and the war on drugs as well, because the war on drugs has been used to control people and, you know, imprison people. And it's definitely racial, and it's definitely has to do with social hierarchies. So I think it's a mix of both, really, of everybody's answers
Yeah.
in the spice. So I was curious, guys, after watching a couple of the films, this is the first time we've done that. What about the story of Dune is so captivating that people keep going back to the well and trying to attempt this movie over and over again? Why do people keep trying? What do you think it is about the story?
I think for me, I can definitely speak to the things that stood out to me in regards to just watching both versions. But there's that spiritual element to it, that if you believe in a higher power or anything aligned with that, there are some nods to that in Dune overall.
Like a Messiah thing happening.
Yeah. And the way that the story is told through a sci-fi lens is very appealing. I think one of the coolest things about 84, I mean, it's in the book as well, but Muad'Dib, the very name, can be used as a weapon, which was, I thought as a kid, I always thought that was really cool. I'm like, oh man, you know, I wish, you know, I don't know, I could explode someone's chest by just saying my name.
Oh Lord.
But I mean, that's just an extreme example, but I think that was a major appeal. And I think that, you know, that kind of stuff is a little timeless. So
Yeah, I think like in the tradition of like Lord of the Rings and these sort of epic tales, there is a little bit of a like a Mount Everestness to them. There's just these ambitious, crazy, unique stories that I feel like as a filmmaker, you want to climb that mountain. You want to prove that you can tell that story. And I think it's so captivating. I think even going back to the last question around the interpretation around the spice and how we all have sort of a slightly different feel about it, but all those feel right, is that there's so much you can relate to in this story. Like the science fiction is really almost a political fiction too, in a way, on top of the spirituality, on top of the magic, on top of the sci-fi. There's just so much to eat up, and I think there is something special about what you were saying, Matt, about this young boy who he's already destined for greatness, but he doesn't even know. There's just like layers to who he becomes and what he's going to accomplish in his life. And if we don't need to get into it now, but if you were to go past, I think the first book or like the halfway point of the second book, his character evolves in a very dramatic way. That you wouldn't expect having just seen like these movies. So there's just so much, I think, to just eat up in this story, in this world.
Yeah, I think that it's rooted I think the story of Dune is rooted in this idea of conquering against insurmountable odds. That is a very human story. And like Shalimar was saying, like they have that in Lord of the Rings. It's that same kind of idea where there's this giant galactic empire and you are one lone voice sort of standing against it and fighting back when everybody for, you know, hundreds of years or hundreds of thousands of years had not had the courage to do so. I think that's just a very human story, and sci-fi does these things really well. When it's done right, can tell these stories in a new way, but they're so classic. I mean, it goes back all the way to one of the first written books, like Beowulf, the great warrior saving the village from, you know, Grendel. But yeah, it's got that in common with it. Very
If I
heroic.
could just piggyback really quick off what you said, Mark, about it being a human story, because it really is. But what is kind of ironic, and I think that creates like an interesting tension, is that the people in Dune, at least let's say the 1984 version, nobody feels truly human, like as we know humanity. Everybody seems evolved in some type of way. But even though these people are so evolved, they're 10,000 years in the future, we're still contending with the same human bullshit of just trying to control each other, and there really is no enlightenment, and it pulls on so many strings.
Dune takes place in what century? It's past the 24th century. I know that much.
It was in
From
a
what
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I definitely think it's supposed to be like 10,000 years in the future, or maybe it's more.
Well, wherever they are, there's pugs.
There are.
Oh God, the pug. I don't understand. It just the pug is a star. I wish I knew the pug's name.
Mr. Pug and stuff.
Mr. Pug and stuff.
Uh, all right. Next topic. So I would like to start off possibly talking about the first attempt at bringing Dune to screen in 1971 by Alejandro Jodorowsky. So Shalimar, would you mind explaining a little bit about that piece of work that did not come to fruition?
Absolutely. So in 1971, the production company Apjack International, headed by film producer Arthur P. Jacobs, optioned the rights to the film Dune. However, Jacobs died in 1973 before a film could be developed. In December 1974, a French consortium led by Jean-Paul Gibbon purchased the film rights from APJ with director Alejandro Jodorowsky set to direct. Jodorowsky wanted to give people who took LSD the same hallucinogenic experience without actually needing to take the drug. He wanted to fabricate the drug's effects through the cinematic experience. Through that experience, he was hoping to change the public's perception. He wanted to make something deeper than a film. He wanted it to be a spiritual experience for moviegoers. How do you think this would have turned out? 1 to 5 Salvador Dali's.
Yes. So we're giving out 1 to 5 Salvador Dali's for this. Each section we're going to give out 1 to 5 something or something, get a little rating. And Salvador Dali, because Salvador Dali was going to be paid for this $100,000 per hour.
Oh my
in the 70s
God.
for this. And they wrote the script in such a way that he was only actually going to be in it for like 5 minutes. And he was going to be the emperor, I believe.
Yeah, I could see it. Sorry, I could totally see it.
So they wanted Dali to be in the movie, not do any art direction or anything
No, they wanted
like
him
that?
to be in it.
Oh my goodness.
I can see it as some kind of meta commentary of some kind because I'm thinking about his work and I'm thinking about LSD.
I give
And
the
I can-
concept itself 5 Salvador Dali's because I want some director out there to do something like this, to just make the most bizarro, wackadoo, psychedelic film that makes no sense with the best people in the world that might not even be actors. And I want to watch the crap out of it. So yeah, I'll give it 5 Salvador Dali's because I'm into it.
I just don't know. I think I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's just I don't know.
Weird.
It's a big risk and I just don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know about it.
It's hard to say something so hypothetical. I mean, in the documentary, they do show some of the visuals and some of the ideas that he had for the film, which looked pretty interesting and really out there. So, E for effort. But it's such an ambitious movie that I feel like once he would have gotten into it, he would have been like, "Oh shit, like, this is like no joke." And I think that's in a way kind of what happened to the Lynch movie.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna give it 2 Dali's. I mean, I love Dali, even though he was a bit questionable. But should I read really quick what Laz thinks about what it could have been?
Sure.
I think Jodorowsky had a lot of passion for the project. The reading I did for this shows that he put a lot of thought into it. I'm not sure for the time that his vision would have hit with audiences for such a big budget film, but neither did Lynch's. It's all speculative. But I think based on the fact that he had true passion for the project versus Lynch, it could have been interesting. Did Lynch not have passion for the project?
I think he did at the beginning, and then he got very disheartened.
Yeah.
But thank you, Laz, from the ether, wherever you
Yeah.
are. Thank you for your contribution. All right. So attempt number 2 to bring Dune to the screen. And this is going to be David Lynch in 1981. In 1981, the 9-year film rights were set to expire. After seeing The Elephant Man in 1980, producer Raffaella De Laurentiis decided that David Lynch should direct the movie. Around that time, Lynch received several other offers for directing films such as Return of the Jedi. Interesting. De Laurentiis contacted Lynch, who said he had not even heard of the book, but after reading it, he loved it. And he met with De Laurentiis and agreed to direct the film. Lynch worked on the script for 6 months with Eric Bergen and Christopher DeVore. That team yielded 2 drafts of the script before they split over creative differences. Lynch subsequently worked on 5 more drafts. Ugh. Initially, Lynch had scripted out Dune across 2 films, but eventually it was condensed into a single film. And, you know, his heart was in the right place. I think that if David Lynch was able to see his actual dream come to fruition of doing 2 films, I think it would have killed. Because as we know, like the first half of that film is pretty darn good. There's a lot to like about it. So what I want to talk about here is, what do you guys think worked with the movie and what didn't? And what do you think of his version, 1 to 5 sandworms?
So I think that with this version, I can definitely say that there was some passion for the project. I think in terms of costume, I think visually, costume, sets, performances, I think everyone was really pouring themselves in. I think the visuals were a little rough.
Are you talking specifically CGI?
Yeah, I think that was a little rough. Yeah, I do think the costumes were there. I do think that the performances were there. And I think that the sets were there. Like I can even, I hope I'm not jumping too far ahead, but I can look at the 2021 version of Dune and see the inspiration, from the costumes and the sets from the 84 Dune in newer Dune. In my opinion, I think I can see some of that in there. So I think that stood the test of time. I think what didn't work, and I think this goes back to the film at the beginning possibly being split in 2, the 84 version. I think the condensing of everything into one movie really hurt the movie in the second half, because you can kind of see how the jumps in time were kind of jarring. 1 minute, Paul is training everyone on how to fight, or he's telling everyone, I'm going to train you how to fight. And the next minute, everyone is, awesome at what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, he's got a baby sister. And then all of a sudden, we're at the end of the movie. I remember seeing the movie for the first time and like having to rewind it because I said to myself, wait,
what happened?
Yeah. Wait, did I miss it? Hold on. And I rewound it twice because I literally I was working on a model kit at the time. I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest. But I was building a model kit at the time and I literally looked a model kit.
Of what?
Oh, of what? I'm sorry. It was, what was it of? I was working on the Enterprise C. Anyway, I remember I just looked down and I look up and the movie was over and I said, crap, I got to rewind it. I rewind it. I look down, I look up, the movie's over. I had to do it 2 or 3 times. So I just say, all that to say, the condensing of the movie, I think, is what really, really hurt it. I have other stuff I want to say, but I'll save it for later on.
How many sandworms should you give it?
Oh, girl. I'm going to give it 2.5.
Don't worry, the other half grows back. It's a worm.
Yes. Give it for effort, for trying. I can see that someone was trying something. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you said, Matt, that I agree with in regards to the art direction. I think a lot of the sets were pretty gorgeous and detailed and very alien, which I appreciated because it just feels like something you've never seen before. I definitely agree that it suffered from rushing the back half of the book because there's just so much that happens that is completely glossed over. One of the things I think didn't work, it depends. Okay, so I first saw this movie before the new one came out, right after I read the book. So it was just very strange to me. When I rewatched it last night, I had slightly less animosity towards it, and I could kind of appreciate what it was trying to do and the ambition and the scale, especially for the time. And I was watching it with my partner Brian, and he was like liking the inner monologue stuff and feeling like it was adding to the performances where I felt like I had a hard time with it. But one thing that the original Dune movie does really well is it explains what's the circumstances of what's going on, what's happening with the emperor, what the spice is all about, kind of like it almost over explains it, honestly. It's kind of like dumbing it down for the watcher, but at the same time it does add a lot of nice context that if you are a fan, you're like happy to see that there. But it relied too heavily on the inner monologue. The inner monologues got so confused. I think that was probably the thing that worked the least for me. One of my favorite things about the movie, even though she doesn't get nearly enough screen time, is his little sister. With her little voice, and she's like, ah, and like, oh my god,
wait for my brother, Baron.
yes. But it makes no sense because they don't really, I mean, they tell you again in voiceover that because her mom took the water of life, she also has now the same powers as her mother,
Right.
and she's basically born with full adult consciousness, like even as a baby. So everybody's freaked out by her. And she kind of just is sort of this sad little kid who just walks around like knowing that she's weirding everybody out. But in the movie, they're just kind of portraying her at like full power. So those are some of the things that I thought worked and didn't. If I were to give it sandworms, I will say I did not like the design of these sandworms. They were a little triggering. The sort of like just yeah. So I'm gonna give it
like an angry phallus.
Angry phallus that just maybe accidentally got stuck in a blender or something. It's just really uncomfortable.
No.
Yeah, I said it.
I gotta edit this out.
I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like.
It does. It does.
All right, I'll give it 2 sandworms.
That's fair. Well, Mr. LazMarquez.com, he says Dune 1984, he gives it 2 out of 5, so pretty consistent across the board here. He said it lacked a lot of emotion and general understanding of the source material. It had great practical effects, but lacked good storytelling. And again, a reason to root for anyone due to direction. I'm not sure what that meant.
I think what he's trying to say is that you have a hard time rooting for any of the characters, or at least he's finding he has a hard time rooting for any of the characters because nobody, from his perspective, it's lacking emotion and maybe some sort of empathy that you can connect with the characters. And I can agree with that. I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about the characters lacking a little bit of humanity, even though the circumstances are very human. So I could kind of understand where he's coming from.
The language in the movie in 84 Dune is very heightened. I mean, that's also very present in the performances as well. But I think you had a lot of actors who were classically trained. I mean, Patrick Stewart, being one of them. So I think that it's just that some of that stands out. But the translation, I think if this were a stage piece, I think it would be more effective because the language comes off very Shakespearean. But when you're putting it up on screen, the translation, it doesn't quite hit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I like David Lynch. I like how oddball he is. I've seen Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, all of Twin Peaks, and really enjoyed. He's an acquired taste. He's odd. He's David Lynch. He's an auteur. Really, this is like one of our first real, true auteur filmmakers that we're covering on Cinema Z. And I think he's an artist at the end of the day, whether it's in films or painting, or he does I've heard audio work. He's put out CDs. The man's a very interesting guy. His fingers are in everything. And I appreciate that about him. And so I got out of his movie kind of what I was looking for. So I guess I wasn't as jarred as you guys. I mean, I agree with David Lynch. It's not his best. David doesn't even like this film. But I like it enough. And so I will give it probably 3.5 I'll give it 3.5. And mostly for the beginning part of the film, because I agree with the rest of you guys. It becomes a dumpster fire around the time where the new film ends and this film keeps going. Around that time, it's just like you don't know what's happening. And I did the same as Matt. I was rewind because I was like, oh, what did I miss? Did I just go to the bathroom and come back and like it's a new movie? What happened?
Yeah.
But no, there's just these jarring transitions. It was bizarro. But for the first half of the movie, solid 3.5 sandworms for me.
Yeah. Also, oh God, what's her name that she's basically laying out the world at the beginning of the movie?
The floating head?
Yes. Floating head. What's her name?
Floating head woman. That's fine.
Princess Urula, something like that.
Pure Princess Urethra.
Urethra.
Princess Urethra. Listen, the glam team, whoever was on makeup and hair, glam team, her face was beat. She looked good.
Yeah, I think she's going to be played by Florence Pugh in the new movie.
That'll be interesting.
Is there a joke in there somewhere?
Wait, what?
Is the Pugh?
I don't know.
Princess Purethra.
Princess Purethra.
I was just happy to see Dean Stockwell, honestly. I think that gave him an extra half point because I love Dean Stockwell. I'm like, why is he in this movie?
Which one was Dean Stockwell? Was he Dr. Yui?
Yeah, the eyebrows, and he was from Quantum Leap, and he was also in Star Trek Enterprise. He guest starred.
And he was a Cylon in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, and he was a Cylon. He's been in all the sci-fis. We love.
We had another Trek vet too. He plays the assistant to the Baron, Mr. Suter from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh yeah,
was he in that too?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's the assistant to the Baron, but yeah, he played Mr. Suter, the serial killer Betazoid in Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, so cool.
Trivia. Also in Lord of the Rings as well. Yeah.
He plays creepy people very well.
He does. Really does. He's in a really great episode of Criminal Minds where he's like crazy and he thinks, I don't know, he turns people into marionettes and tries to act out a scene in his head. And it's so twisted, but he does it so well.
I bet he does. I gotta watch it. He's underrated. I enjoy him.
He's in a lot of TV stuff. He's also in an episode of X-Files, one of the earlier episodes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
He plays a prisoner who could kind of see the future.
Yeah, I could see it.
Listeners, the actor is Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif.
And we love him.
We love you, Brad.
A creepy SOB, but we love him.
And you do it well. You do your thing well. Alrighty. Legendary Pictures acquired the film and TV rights for Dune in November 2016. Variety reported in December 2016 that Denis Villeneuve had expressed his interest in the project in September 2016, saying that a long-standing dream of mine is to adapt Dune, but it's a long process to get the rights, and I don't think I will succeed. Villeneuve's enthusiasm to direct a Dune film earned him the respect of the film producer who called Villeneuve and quickly hired him after Villeneuve described his vision for the film to her. He chose to complete his other films such as Arrival, oh so good, and Blade Runner 2049, as he wanted to spend more time to develop the film and co-write it himself. He also felt Dune is my world. Due to his background in directing science fiction films, that makes a lot of sense. Villeneuve had signed on to direct the film by January 2017. Previous adaptations of the novel did not fully intimidate him, as he felt that his love for Dune allowed him to focus on his own vision. He compared his experience of making the film to archaeology. I like that a lot. Describing the process as going back in time and finding those images mixed with emotions and bringing them back to life and trying to honor them as much as possible.
I wanted you to read that part because of how many times you have to say Villeneuve. And I was like, I could barely say it last episode. We need somebody that's used to reading scripts to read this long portion. So thank you, Matt.
Very well done.
In adapting the book for a contemporary audience, Villeneuve wanted to reflect on realities that have happened since that time related to commentary on overexploitation of the earth and he considers his screenplay a coming-of-age story, but also a call for action for the youth. He sought to streamline many parts of the novel for the film and also wanted to keep the atmosphere and poetry of the book intact. So, fellow podcasters, did you see similarities from previous adaptations in this film?
I did. Yeah, definitely. Like, it comes from the book, I think. There are scenes that were in both. Like, I'm thinking specifically of the scene towards the beginning where they walk in on Paul and his back is turned, and then they start like the fight, him and Gurney. That's in both films, and the dialogue isn't that dissimilar.
No, it's not.
And so I was like, oh wait, like this is totally in both. There's a handful of those scenes sprinkled throughout, but I did see some similarities. Also, like you were saying earlier, Matt, some of the set designs and also costumes seem to be influenced by. Now, I'm not saying they were the same, but the grandeur of it all, the scope of it all, I think was definitely there with both. Yeah, I like that.
I would
The
say,
alienness.
Yeah, Paul's room, the militaristic style of the uniforms that Paul Atreides.
Treyu. That's from what, The Neverending Story.
Sorry, wrong universe. Sorry,
I
listeners, don't
love
hate
that.
me.
Matthew, just give me a name.
Call my name. Sorry. But you can see the influence. Also, Paul had this really nice long coat that I was like, I want to wear that. That was cute. Absolutely. That influence is there.
Oh, I had a fashion orgasm over that coat too. I was doing a rewatch today. I'm like, oh, I want that.
God.
Great coat. I think I really agree with what both you guys said. There's definitely a lot of similarities. There are certain lines that are verbatim, like certain scenes, for instance, when Chani, I think is her name, comes up behind him when he's looking down at the group of Fremen, and she goes, there's an easier way. I'll show you an easier way to get down. Like, that's verbatim. And it's probably from the book. Maybe that's why it's verbatim. But there are definitely a handful of scenes that definitely are playing homage to each other and the book. Yeah.
All right. So next, do you think splitting the first book into 2 movies is a good idea?
Oh, yeah. Especially after the rewatch of 1984 Dune. This is such a blessing. He actually, by the way, Villeneuve.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're talking about Villeneuve or Herbert?
Denis Villeneuve. He was only actually given enough money to make one film, and he purposely made it end the way that it did so that he could get more money to make another film. He kind of refused. Yeah, he was like, nah, I know you're only giving me money to make one film, but no, this is a 2-film dealio. So it's either going to be the first half the book and then nothing, or you'll let me finish.
Yeah,
and,
shout out to Villeneuve for learning from the past.
Yeah, you have to respect a director who I mean, that's just got to take some serious cojones to do something like that in the face of the studio pressure and God knows how much other things. I mean, if anything, I feel like the 1984 film probably suffered from a lot of studio pressure to get it done and get it done in time, and maybe that's what contributed to the rushed ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also agree that splitting it into 2 movies is an excellent idea, because there's a lot of story to tell and a lot of dense story to tell. And even though Villeneuve does an amazing job of streamlining the storytelling, you never feel like anything's overly so dense that you can't process the emotional aspect. I think maybe that's what Laz was referring to, now that I think about it earlier, is that this newer film has a much more emotional heart to it than perhaps the 1984, which was really leaning into the political situation and the Bene Gesserit sort of religion aspect and all that kind of stuff, as where this one, that's there, but that's not the face of the movie. The face is really just these people who are in these incredible circumstances.
There is an aha moment I had when watching the 2021 version. It's just that it's I got the emotional weight of it from a particular scene, and I actually put it in director's cut, but it's the scene where Paul is walking with Duke Leto, and they're walking through the graveyard of their ancestors. And they're on that cliffside, and there's all the water, and they have this really great father-son bonding talk. And it's like, as soon as I watched that scene, I was like, oh yeah, this is what's missing from 84, is this emotional weight. And also, like, it gets and this is right at the beginning, this gets the viewer to really be I guess invested emotionally in these characters. So when Leto dies later on, it's a gut punch. When Paul still, he hangs on to the ring, later on, it's like, I don't know, it's special. It's very special, but you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
His
to agree.
anger towards his mother for putting him in that situation.
Yeah.
Their back and forth was great too. Ooh.
Yeah, very good chemistry between those two performers.
I really enjoyed for what solidified it for me in terms of some heart in this movie and stakes emotionally was probably the scene between Paul and Gurney when they're doing the sparring, and at the end of the scene, Gurney talks about fighting they say Harkonnens, and then I think in 84 Dune they say Harkonnens. I'm so used to saying Harkonnens, but where he's talking to Paul about that, and he says, oh, God, was Len? He says, I have to see it in your eyes, and he says they're brutal, and you can see that this Gurney, all respect to Patrick, who I love, but whatever was given in this text with this Gurney, there's a past there in just that little bit of text where he tells him, I need to see it in your eyes, and these people are brutal. You see that this person has been through something, and you see the stakes and how high they are and where they're about to go. So what worked for you and what didn't?
Well, what worked for me, obviously, was what I was just talking about, was the more heart that this story seemed to bring. And I think it's definitely, the acting, but there was great actors in the 84 one as well. So I can't all be the acting. Some of it was the writing as well. I think this benefited from a very excellent script. The script was really cool. Also, there are subtle things that even the cinematographer brought to this picture, where when you are on Arrakis, you feel the tremendous weight in every room, right? You feel that the walls are like, 60 feet thick or whatever the heck it is supposed to be. But it's also a weight on the characters, and it's oppressive. It's just oppressive. And you feel that. And then there are the moments sort of outside where you can feel the air almost. I really appreciated that. So I think that those are some things that I think worked. What do I think didn't work? Well, I think the only thing that didn't work is that we only got to see part one, and then it sort of abruptly ends. I was like, no, I want to see more. So I think that's good feedback. What didn't work is that it had to end, and I want to see more.
Yeah, we just get that slow motion close up of Zendaya, and that's it.
Well, oh my God, so much worked about this movie. It's hard for me to pick one thing. First of all, the art direction of the entire film is gorgeous and inspired. Everything about it I love. One thing I wanted to bring up earlier, but I didn't want to derail too much, but I'm going to bring it up here, is the design and treatment of the Harkonnen versus the Lynch version, which is very difficult to watch. And I think in regards to special effects, the Harkonnen and the makeup, it's where that movie kind of falls apart for me, even for the time. I definitely saw better makeup jobs during that era. But back to this, the cast of this film was so perfect in so many ways. I had a hard time with Kyle MacLachlan as Paul, having read the book, because he felt too old for me for some reason. In the book, he's supposed to be 14, 15 years old. So Timothy looks a little bit more the part, even though Timothy's performances sometimes I think could be a little wooden. It kind of still made sense to me because he is royalty, he is stoic, he has to kind of keep everything under control. So it makes sense for me. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Dr. Liet Kynes, who I don't know her name, who plays her in the new movie.
She's
but
phenomenal.
In the book, yeah, and she's great. In the book, she's a much bigger in the book is a man, but it doesn't matter, is a much bigger character. And I do feel like even in both movies, we kind of lose them too soon. Yeah, I mean, it was hard that the way it ended so abruptly because it really left you in a moment where you thought something else was about to happen. And I think if you've never heard of Dune before and you went to the movies to see this, that must have been really uncomfortable, like abrupt and unpleasant to be like, what? It's over? But I mean, I think that's for the best. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it wraps up. What changes? Does the art direction evolve at all? Do the the characters absolutely should be evolving. One thing I stand out for me in terms of what worked was I really loved the mom. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name, Lady Jessica, but I forgot the actress's name. I liked her performance. I liked the control of it, and I feel like she might have taken inspiration from what was done in the 1984 version. There's a very similar thread to the just tight, emotional, like very emotional, but still very controlled. So I liked her a lot in this film.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Thank you so much, Mark.
No worries.
The role of Dr. Leah Kynes for the 2021 version was Sharon Brewster.
Yes, I really liked her. She had so much empathy in her eyes and like understanding and depth. I wish we got to spend more time.
Yeah, it's funny. I showed my mother the 2021 version of Dune last year, and that's one of the actresses that her and I have spoken about is Sharon, and just how captivating she is. I think for me, I loved almost everything about this movie. I do have to say that when I went to see this version of the film, it's just something that still hits me in a certain way when I watch these movies, is still the lead characters and the hero being white. I know that, I guess, in David Lynch's version, or Frank Herbert, I guess he wanted to get away from the white savior trope. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I noticed that all the supporting characters were people of color.
So that's better.
It is better. It is better. It's just I do think that it could have been a person of color. Paul could have been a person of color. Maybe it's more of an interesting statement, since we are talking about hierarchy and royalty and colonialism. Maybe it is more effective to have that person be looking of European descent. But when it comes to someone who's going to save the galaxy, save the whatever, I wish it was a person of color. I wish the family was a family of color, and it stuck out to me, and it did bother me.
Yeah.
I think some of that probably does come from the filmmaker seeing the film in his head and who he pictures for Paul. And maybe he pictures like a young version of himself, like because he grew up, reading the books. So for me, he always envisioned the film a certain way since he was a little boy, because he grew up loving the book, and he even loved the 84 version. He watched that when it came out. So I think little baby Dennis probably informed this movie. It's just what he's always envisioned in his head, probably. Where if it was a black filmmaker like Jordan Peele, it would have been a black cast, like he's doing with Nope and such, because when he sees the script for those films, he sees it with a black cast, and I love it. But yeah, I think some of it does have to do with the director and what they're seeing in their head when they're thinking about the film.
Yeah, and I'm sure the studios too. They want these certain big name stars to be. Timothée Chalamet is like the guy right now. Everybody wants a piece of him. In regards to Frank's notion of the white savior, I'm going to do like a little tiny spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't read the books.
Yeah.
But I will say that Paul's destiny doesn't necessarily land him in the savior category. He's sort of, you think he's saving everybody, but ultimately he's just creating a whole new world of problems. And I think in that context, it does take the notion of the white savior and turn it on its head. So outside of the fact that the hero is white, he's not always the hero.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, last question. Did you enjoy this film? And give it a 1 out of 5 jars of spice.
For me, we've done a bunch of movies now. This is like 14 or something this episode? I don't know, whatever.
No, is it really?
I think so.
Oh my God.
And for the most part, I've been holding back since the beginning giving it 5
Mm-hmm.
for most things. But in the last few movies, like we did Shalimar when we did Annihilation. Yeah. Annihilation, I gave 5 to. And then Nope, I think I gave 5 to. And we're going to get crazy today and we're going to give it another 5 jars of spice for this film because it's got all the things I like and then some. And I was just like salivating for more. So I can't wait for part 2 to come out. And I'm really glad they already filmed it because it would be odd if Timothy Chalamet is suddenly 10 years older after the actors strike,
He'd probably
So,
look
like,
the same.
they already filmed it. So he's going to look the same as he did in the first one. Unlike those kids from Stranger Things that are going to all be 30 by the time they're finishing up with it.
Yeah, that's getting a little awkward with some of those kids. So I'm going to give it 5 jars of spice as well. I think, to Mark's point, this has everything I want in a movie, especially a sci-fi epic. It has incredible attention to detail. It has amazing design, otherworldly design that definitely takes a lot of inspiration from the 1984 version, but just elevates it, modernizes it, streamlines it just enough that it gets your imagination going, but it isn't distracting. So yeah, I'll give it 5.
I'm going to do 4 out of 5. I think everything was great about this movie. I think, again, the only thing that really still stuck out to me was just I wanted to see a person of color, whether they be Black or some other ethnicity, in that role of being the person that saves the day. That's just the one thing that stuck out to me. But besides that, everything about it is amazing. Also, I think what I really liked is in the way that the lighting in the first scene when the Harkonnens come in the battle scene, it's the way that the lighting kind of illuminates what's going on. We don't have some random source of light off screen, so we're able to see what's happening. The explosions are kind of illuminating the attacks that are happening with the different ships, if that makes any sense. And I always thought that was
beautiful
to watch. And it was subtle. The visual effects were subtle. Like it's not over the top, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like there's
just a dash of nutmeg.
Just a dash of nutmeg, exactly.
I think most of them were practical, right? Like there was a large amount of these effects that were practical.
Mostly practical effect, yes.
There's a scene with a laser that's cutting through one of the corridors, and it's not like it doesn't look like a phaser beam. It doesn't look like, something being shot out of a Death Star. It's like this very faint streamline cut that is still very effective and still seems very dangerous, but it's very slight. I can't remember what scene it's in, but I always thought that was really cool in this movie. So
was it the one where he's sleeping and that little like tracer thing's trying to kill him?
No, this is it's with Dr. Kynes, it's with Paul, it's with his mother, and we see what's his name's character go to fight the men in the corridor, and they're trying to break through the door.
Idaho?
Oh, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Duncan Idaho is the character.
Duncan Idaho.
Oh, Duncan. Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but yes, it's that little stream of light that's a laser. Looked really good and slight in effect.
Well, Laz, what did you think of the film?
So Laz says he gives Dune from 2021 a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect film, but the attention to visual detail, creating stakes, and having strong performances make you care more about an otherwise inaccessible storyline for most. What this slightly lacks in its innate craziness, which Lynch overdid, but I think the grounded approach helped aid the overall narrative because I cared more about the protagonist. Yeah, I would have to agree.
Thank you, Laz.
Thank you, Laz.
Well, listeners, now it's time for my favorite segment and yours. Yay! Applause all around. It's Director's Cut. So we take every episode, we take a few scenes from our favorite films and we act them out in real time without any other rehearsal and have fun, be ridiculous.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
So the first scene I have chosen is from the 1984 Dune. And this is when Paul is not in the mood for his training. And so we have Paul in this scene. We have Thufir. I think that's how we pronounce the name. I don't know. And then Gurney. So yeah, there's a part for everybody in this scene.
I'll do Thufir.
I want to be Gurney so bad.
I was hoping because I want you better channel Sir Patrick.
I'm just so obsessed with Patrick in this movie.
Yes. All
I'm
right.
so obsessed with him.
Well, then I will be Paul Atreides. I'm going to try to read it like Kyle MacLachlan too.
Action.
I know, Thufir. I'm sitting with my back to the door. I heard you, Dr. Yu, and Gurney coming down the hall.
Those sounds can be imitated.
I'd know the difference.
Yes, perhaps you would at that.
My father sent you to test me. Music, then?
No music. I'm practicing for the crossing. Shield practice.
Gurney, we had practice this morning. I'm not in the mood.
Not in the mood. The mood to think for cattle and love play, not for fighting.
I'm sorry, Gurney.
Not sorry enough.
What's wrong with Gurney? He's not faking this.
Now, guard yourself for true.
Is this what you seek?
Good. Slow blade penetrates the shield. But, look down. We'd have joined each other in death. You did seem finally to get the mood.
Would you really have drawn my blood?
If you had fought one whit below your abilities, I'd have given you a good scar to remind you.
Cut.
The thing I love about Kyle is that he's so dry. He's like a saltine cracker. The way he delivers the lines. I love Kyle MacLachlan. He's, like I said, he's been in a bunch of David Lynch's films. He was in, obviously, Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I enjoy seeing him. But yeah, he's very dry.
Matt, that was like one of the most incredible like Patrick Stewart impression performances I've ever heard. Just
Thank
like
you
hats
very
off.
much.
It was so good. I was not expecting that sound to come out of your mouth. Once it did, I was truly shocked and amazed.
All right, scene number 2. Duke, Leto, and Paul discuss leaving for Arrakis.
So this scene is, like I said, the special one that I found at the beginning of the new movie. And it really, I think, grounded the film in some heart. I'd like to do it, but I don't care because both parts are juicy. I don't know.
I think I want to hear you do Paul Shalimar. Is that okay? I don't mean to cast you immediately, but it'd be very
I'm
interesting to
so
hear you doing
typecast as
Paul.
like Twinkie white guys. Like
I don't really do the Twinkie white guy thing well. Shal can be our space twink.
Oh my goodness. I'm like the opposite of a space twink.
You serve space twink energy.
Yeah.
I'll try my best.
All right, then I will be Duke Leto.
Action.
Father, I'd like to ask to join Duncan Idaho on his scout mission to Arrakis tomorrow. I've studied the Fremen language. I'd be an asset.
Out of the question. You'll travel in a few weeks to Arrakis like the rest of us.
I've been training my whole life. What is the point if I'm not allowed to face some actual risk?
You know why, Paul? You're the future of House Atreides.
And grandfather fought bulls for sport.
Yes, and look where that got him. I need you by my side. When we get to Arrakis, you'll face enormous danger.
What danger? The Fremen? The desert?
Political danger. The great houses look to us for leadership, and this threatens the Emperor. By taking Arrakis from the Harkonnens and making it ours, he sets the stage for war, which would weaken both houses. But if we hold firm and tap the true power of Arrakis, we could be stronger than ever.
What does that mean? Mining spice? Keeping the Fremen in their place? We'd be no better than the Harkonnens.
No, by making an alliance with the Fremen. That's what I've sent Duncan Idaho to arrange. Here on Caladan, we've ruled by air power and sea power. On Arrakis, we need to cultivate desert power. I want you sitting on my council. Learn what I do.
What if I'm not, Dad?
Not what?
The future of House Atreides.
I told my father I didn't want this either. I wanted to be a pilot.
You never told me that.
Your grandfather said, a great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it. And he answers. And if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son, I found my own way to it. Maybe you'll find yours. In their memory, give it a try.
Cut.
It is a great moment. I think it's one of those moments of expanded dialogue that tells you a lot about the characters, their motivations, what's going on. And it's also, I think, one of those scenes that if you're not paying attention and you miss this moment, you're going to miss a large point of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, and also for the Duke, we don't get to see that much vulnerability from him in the cinematic world in the 84 Dune. So this was a great moment for him. Moving on. Scene number 3. This is from 84 Dune. The Harkonnen assassin has been discovered by the Duke, and the Duke and Paul and Gurney are discussing how to move forward. I really want to be Gurney again. Is that okay?
You should be. Nobody else should be. I'll do the Duke, Leto.
Action.
The attempt failed. Harkonnen captives have already been taken. We must crush the Harkonnen machine on Arrakis. You all know what to do. Gurney, we desperately need more spice miners. Many are threatening to leave on the next shuttle. We need spice drivers, weather scanners, dune men, any with sand experience. You must persuade them to enlist with us.
They shall all come for violence. Their faces shall sup as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity of the sand.
Very moving, Gurney. On your way, and take care of Dr. Kynes until Paul and I arrive. We will not be prisoners here in this place.
Behold is a wild ass in the desert. I go to my work.
Cut.
I just wanted to say that line so bad.
Oh my god. Oh, that was amazing. Oh my god, Matt, you're off of this podcast alone, you're gonna get offers to do voiceover work, I swear.
If you don't, it's a crime.
You're gonna read Make It So. You're gonna read that novel. You're gonna do the audiobook.
Oh my god. Actually, you know who does like
Amazing.
a really great Patrick, and I kind of just played with his, and I would just do it in my car sometimes randomly. Brent Spiner does an amazing Patrick Stewart.
Oh yes.
He'll do it at conventions, and it puts me on the floor. It's so good.
Guys, thank you for indulging again. It's so much fun. I love playing in the sandbox with you.
I love this. I love this. I could go on and on about Dune. So much. Also, in Children of Dune, in the mini series on the Sci-Fi Channel, what's his name plays Paul's son, James McAvoy.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Really?
James is still a baby to me, but yeah, it's a young James McAvoy.
Well, guys, this actually is a great segue into. We've brought it back, listeners. If you listen to our roundtable, we did our very first trivia game. And I thought because we're covering so much content today and we're not talking about one film, this would be a great place to bring back the trivia game. And because our listener, Mel Larson, is not on this week, we all have an opportunity to win. Love you, Mel. You are
Yes.
literally the best.
I wish he was here because I feel like it's just going to be silence.
We'll see. All right. So I have set up 10 questions. There are a couple of questions in here that have 2 points you can get, as well as a bonus point at the end. Now, the bonus point can really, really shake up the board, if you remember last time, because it is double the points. So instead of getting 1 point, you could get 2. So, yes, the first question, and you guys can just, shout out the answers, and whoever went first will get the point. Okay. We have no fancy buzzers here. We are low budget. All right. In the 1984 Dune, director David Lynch makes a cameo as what?
Does he? I mean, I'm going to just throw a guess out there. Does he make make an appearance as a Harkonnen? No.
All right, let me see if I could fancy a guess. Oh, fuck. Is he one of the Fremen?
Mel got it, I'm sure. She's listening. And point goes to Mel. So the David Lynch actually played a radio operator on a spice mining ship.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he played one of the disposables.
Yes, he gets swallowed by the space worm.
Hmm.
In Jodorowsky's unmade version of Dune, who would have played Paul?
I don't know, but now I want to know. That's very interesting.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I have this on the tip of my tongue and I cannot remember. I'm like going back to the script, see if you like snuck it in there somewhere.
Oh Lord.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
All right. Mel got it. It's Jodorowsky's son.
Oh, that's cheating. Nepotism.
Yeah, I mean, it's still happening.
Oh my God, Mel's still winning. She's not even here. All right.
I love that she's getting these points though. That's great.
She's the best. They're we're gonna keep doing this too. This is gonna be the running thing whenever we do trivia game. If nobody gets the point, we're just gonna give it to Mel.
Yeah, I think that should be great. That's a great thing.
All right. So Blank is a big fan of the Dune novels and turned down working with frequent collaborator Christopher Nolan on Tenet to score Dune 2021. For the same reason that director Denis Villeneuve was the top choice to direct, but turned down an offer to direct Blank. So who is the big fan of the novels that turned down working on Tenet? And also, what movie did Dennis turn down? Hint, it's part of a big franchise.
Wait, are we talking about the composer that turned down Hans Zimmer?
Isn't it Hans Zimmer? And then wasn't he going to do one of the Star Wars movies? Denis Villeneuve?
Oh my God, that was the only one I didn't have the answers for. But I do know the answers. So, Matt, you were correct with the
Hans
Zimmer. But Shal, you were incorrect with
Boo.
the film. Matt,
Also
do you want to take a stab at the film that Dennis turned down?
Muffins and Cakes. I don't know. I'm thinking about what movies came out that year. I don't think it was going to be The Matrix.
You're right, it wasn't.
That was the worst.
Yeah, because I know The Matrix came out that same year. It wasn't going to be The Matrix. It wasn't going to be Star Wars. Star Wars came out in 2019, the last one. Yeah.
Mel's got it. He was going to go on and do James Bond.
Denis Villeneuve?
Yeah, he was offered to do one of the Bond films and turned it down to do this instead.
Interesting. That would have been an
Good for him.
interesting Bond, yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did that.
I know
Me
that
too.
Chris Nolan wants to do a Bond movie, doesn't he? I think he's been talking about that.
Only if it's time travel Bond.
Okay, so just checking the scoreboard here. Mel Larson, our listener, she has 3. And we're still waiting for everybody else to jump on the board. I didn't think I made them that hard. All right.
Well, I mean, you know the answers to them.
We're trailing behind. We are trailing behind.
All right. So question number 4. Where did Frank Herbert write Dune? Where was he?
Was he in a dune?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Las Vegas.
No.
Colorado.
You guys are on the right. I think it's all in the same time zone.
Nevada? Desert?
Mm-mm.
Joshua Tree? Isn't there a place called Joshua Tree? It's like a cool desert.
Yeah, there's a place called Joshua Tree.
This was too hard of a question, I think. And I don't think you guys are going to get it. Because I was surprised there was any dunes there to begin with. So he wrote it in Florence, Oregon.
Oh.
And
Okay.
they're at the north end of the Oregon dunes. I didn't know there were dunes in Oregon, and I used to live in Washington State. And I didn't know that there were dunes there. But anyway.
Interesting. All right. So some sort of dune.
I give these questions 1 sandworm. They're too hard.
Yeah, there. I didn't. It was hard to find ones that
You're
weren't.
making me feel dumb.
Okay, sorry.
This is interesting, though.
I am learning.
Number 5, Paul Stamets met Frank Herbert in the 1980s, where they talked about the influence of blank in his writing of Dune. Now, if you know who Paul Stamets is,
I was about to say, are we talking about mushroom and space travel and mycelial network?
You get it with mushrooms. Matt gets a point. I was like, please. And because I was going to make the question was originally going to be Paul's name, Paul Stamets. But then I changed it, and I'm like, no, that would be too hard.
Yeah, that'd be too hard.
Nobody would get it. So then I was like,
know.
okay.
That's
know
it, Mark.
Paul
Next
Stamets.
time we're gonna get you with the trivia questions, and we'll see what's so easy and what's not easy. That's it. I vow revenge.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You and Les, you both come to me. All right. Okay, number 6. In the 1984 Dune, blank was completely this is so funny. In the 1984 Dune, blank was completely unfamiliar with the artist Sting. When meeting him on the set, he asked if Sting was a solo artist, to which he replied he was in a band called The Police. Blank then was totally unaware still and thought that Sting played in a Police band.
Okay, because I saw some trivia about this. I know the answer to this one. It's Patrick Stewart.
I was guessing it was Patrick Stewart because that sounds like
It
something.
just sounds like something that he would, bless his heart.
All right. Listen. Shal, you knew. I'm going to give you a half point just to put you on the board.
I'll
and
take
Matt,
a half point.
Matt, you get 2, but I will say Mel Larson is still crushing it. Okay. Number 7. Oh, this one's good. Before the opening credits of the 2021 Dune, a line of dialogue is spoken. Is it A, what is it to give light, must endure burning? Or B, dreams are messages from the deep? Or C, I don't like the sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating.
God,
it gets
no.
everywhere.
Mark, God.
Definitely B. It's B, right?
It is B.
It's
Shalimar.
B.
God.
1.5 points. Yes.
Yay! I'm on my way.
Nobody thought it was 3.
No, I don't think so. I think that's a different franchise.
Oh, okay. Okay. I even did the voice.
The angsty Anakin voice. God bless him for making me gay.
Oh
him,
my
I wouldn't have
lord. The force was strong. Okay. So this is actually a 2-part question. So you have a chance to get 2 points. What year did the Dune miniseries air on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Ooh.
And what year did the sequel air?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 99, 2000, and then for the second, maybe 2001, 2002.
I have no effing clue, so I'm gonna take my L and see what the judges say.
Okay. I can give you 1 point because you kind of got 2000. So 2000 was the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mel chimed in with the second part, and she got 2003 for the second movie. So another point to Mel.
Also, like random track trivia, the actor that plays Paul in that version of Dune plays the lead augment in season 4 of Star Trek Enterprise in that story arc.
Oh, cool. So much Star Trek actors have been in Dune.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and we get Babs Alusamakun. There we go.
Yeah.
I really tried. I tried with that name.
Dr.
He is in the new
Mbenga.
one.
Also Dr. Mbenga.
Yeah, Dr. Mbenga.
I feel like sci-fi actors tend to like gravitate around the same genre.
It's very interesting, especially like in the 90s. You would see like people from Babylon 5 show up in Deep Space Nine or Voyager, and then show up in like Earth Final Conflict.
All right. Question number 9. If Jodorowsky's Dune came to fruition, who would play Baron Harkonnen? Now, the answer to this question can be found in every episode of Cinema Z if you listen hard enough.
Oh my God, deep cuts.
Yeah.
This
And
was
it's our own
also
stuff.
This actor was also an answer on the previous quiz from the last episode, where I gave the same hint.
I suck at trivia. I give up.
Oh my gosh. It's
I quit at life.
muffins and cakes. It's bothering me now. Balls.
Oh my lord. Okay. Wrong. Mel Larson gets the point. It's Orson Welles.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see it.
Love you, Mel. Okay. So we have question 10 and then the bonus. So it can really change the shape of the game here. Number 10, many of the artists hired to work on Jodorowsky's Dune, including H.R. Giger, later went on to work on what film?
Alien.
You got it.
If I know anything, I know Alien.
Perfect.
Also, I think
Thank
that's
you,
like the only movie that guy worked on.
Oh, did you just? I think you just buzzed by. If I'm keeping track, you buzzed by Matt by a half a point.
Oh, really? How many points was the bonus? Was that the bonus question?
No,
or
that was the regular one.
Okay, right. All right.
But you were just under him, and you got that point. So now I think you're up by a half a point. Anyway, all right.
Amazing.
Pressure on.
I'm coming for you.
But remember, the bonus question here is worth 2 whole points. So Matt, if you get it, in the 2021 Dune, Rebecca Ferguson plays Lady Jessica. Name 2 of her other starring roles.
Oh, God, I can't think of the characters. I just know the movies that she's been in.
Well, that's fine.
Oh, Greatest
Mission
Showman.
Impossible. I wanted to say one so I could get a point too.
So Shal, you get a point for Mission Impossible. And Matt, what did you say?
Greatest Showman.
And you get a point as well. So, I guess Shal wins by a half a point, but
I feel like we're tied.
Yeah, you're kind of
We're
tied.
tied.
It all goes to Mel. Mel won.
Yeah, Mel won. We'll send her the
Let's
reward.
just give it up.
Look in the mail for a check, Mel.
I didn't tell you guys this, but the winner of the trivia this week gets Arrakis. So she gets a whole planet. So congratulations, Mel Larson.
Yeah.
You are now the proud owner of Arrakis. Be kind to the natives.
Yes, please.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Mark, Christos, and Kelvin. Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey, a self-proclaimed gamer who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. If you're lost in the Delta Quadrant, check out The Captain's Couch, a Star Trek Voyager podcast hosted by Jeremiah sitting on Janeway's Ready Room couch. Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed but should definitely check out, hosted by Mark, Matt, and Laz. Beam Aboard the Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Amy, Joe, Rhea, and Kevin. History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissy and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissy and Thad. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey. Union Federation, covering all things Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Star Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Spill the Tea with What's the Tea, Bev, a Trek current events and fan interview show hosted by Christos. And for our Patreon members, we have The Hive Mind, BQN's monthly roundtable discussion with hosts and listeners. It's Green, a cornucopia of topics hosted by Mark, and Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek, hosted by Amy. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
All right. Well, Shal, what are we going to talk about next week?
All right. Well, next episode, we're going to talk about David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from 2011. Disgraced financial reporter Mikael Blomkvist, played by Daniel Craig, finds a chance to redeem his honor after being hired by a wealthy Swedish industrialist, Henrik Wagner, played by Christopher Plummer, to solve the 40-year-old murder of Wagner's niece Harriet. Wagner believes that Harriet was killed by a member of his own family. Eventually joining Blomkvist on his dangerous quest for the truth is Lisbeth Salander, played by Rooney Mara, an unusual but ingenious investigator whose fragile trust is not easily won. And you can stream it currently on Hulu and Amazon Prime.
Can't wait. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Matt?
I started to watch it and I never finished it.
Uh-oh.
I know, shame on me. Now I get to finish it. I gotta say, now, I don't want to king shame.
Uh-oh.
But I gotta say it. In 84 Dune, I noticed there's a slight demonization of the queer community in 84 Dune. And I have to say, there were a lot of red-haired twinks that were harmed in the making of that movie.
I was going to say there was a demonization of gingers in that movie. I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, how all the Harkonnen are gingers.
They all have red hair, but they're all twinkish and pretty. They're all twinkish
I don't know
and
about
pretty.
that. There's definitely some not so twinkish and pretty people.
Well, I mean, maybe.
I mean, save for Sting.
I mean, oh my god, oh my god, Sting in that movie. Good lord. But just like the Baron and his relationship with, like, I don't know if you guys noticed it, Baron from the 84 Dune has like a very odd relationship with one of the younger men.
Well, in the book, I could say that in the book, he's a bit of a pedophile murderer.
Okay, there we go.
So he's got like a thing for young boys, and he like does, it's kind of vague what he does to them, but it's not pretty. And that's one of the interesting things that Lynch kept in the movie, but Denis just like totally nixed.
Yeah, nixed.
He's a creep in a lot of ways.
We would love to hear what you thought of today's episode and hope you'll join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, to continue the discussion there. You can also send your thoughts to @CinemaZPod on Twitter and BlueSky and let us know if you'd like to recommend a film. Please follow the network on Twitter, BlueSky, and Instagram at BQN Podcasts. So, Shalimar, where can people find you when you are not hanging out in a room full of Salvador Dalis?
Oh, well, you can find me at www.shalimarlewis.art, where I'm currently have a bunch of really fun art and merchandise for sale, which I would recommend you order by December 10th, so you can get it in time for the holidays. And you can also find me on Instagram at Shalimar Lewis. And Matt, where can people find you when you're not bending them to their will with your incredible sultry voice?
Oh my god. Oh my. Well, when I'm not doing that, which is usually every Thursday, I am on Instagram on at 1701BLERD. You can follow my web series. It's about a gay black nerd that uses Star Trek to cope with life. You can also find me that way on TikTok as well. And Mark, where can people find you when you are not cuddling cute little pugs running off into battle?
Oh my god, I totally would. Oh, love a good pug. Well, when I'm not doing that, you can check out some of my works of art in the entertainment industry at lasmarquez.com. Oh, no, wait. Nope, he's not here this week. No, but go to lasmarquez.com anyway.
Yes,
he's awesome.
Please do.
His work is beautiful. Okay. Well, you can find me in the BQN Collective Facebook group. You can also find me on BlueSky at MW207. Yes. And I have another show on the network, All Good Things, where I talk Star Trek with some really good friends, and we have a good time. So you can find me there. Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get podcasts, and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcast by searching our master feed, BQN.
At this time, we would like to thank our associate producer, Amy Nelson. A special thanks to Laz Marquez for our artwork each and every week. The opening and closing music for this podcast is titled Dancing Dead and was provided by Ketsa from the Free Music Archive, providing royalty-free music for content creators.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We will add you to the Hive Mind Facebook group so you can enjoy It's Green, Amy's math moments, and other network perks. With a monthly subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings on the Hive Mind Roundtable discussion on the second Saturday of each month. Visit patreon.com/BQN to get all the details and watch your messages.
Thank you for listening. We hope you'll tune in next time.
He who controls the spice controls the universe.
Old Spice? All
Definitely
Spice?
Old Spice. All
Yeah.
Spice. Actually, Five Spice is really nice to put in your food if you're looking for a little Asian flair.
Ooh, Five Spice. That sounds
Five
interesting.
Spice is
Where can you
nice.
get Five Spice?
I think the supermarket.
Oh, is it just? Oh, okay. I thought it was like, maybe
Yeah.
like at a Costco, or if it was like a Trader
They
Joe's
use it all the
brand.
time in Chopped. Do you guys watch Chopped?
I know that show. I just haven't watched it. Okay. Well, there's different spices. It just doesn't have to be, the kind of spice that makes your eyes turn blue.
Spice up your life. Ole, ole, ole. What is it? Am I mixing up two different songs?
Yeah, that's some Spice Girls and
Ricky Martin.
People of the world, spice up your life. Every boy and every girl, spice up your life.
There you go.
This is a mashup we didn't know we needed.
Spice World.
Just the Spice Girls just riding a giant sandworm.
That's all we need.
That's all we need.